My name's Jack, I'm 24 years old and I live in Cardiff, and I currently suffer from anxiety and depression. When did you first realise you were having problems with your mental health, and how did it make you feel? For me, I think I went, 23, 24 years without having any problems whatsoever. Things started not really feeling right, and it kind of mainly for me boiled down to my career. And it was very strange for me to come home every day to my girlfriend, her be so excited to talk about her job and her day, and then for me to not feel the same way. And that made me question a lot of things. I was crying for the first time, I think, since I'd watched Toy Story 3. But I'd never really was that emotional a person. Suddenly it was every day, kind of real highs, real lows. Have you always felt like you can talk about your mental health? For me it's difficult because I went so long without experiencing any problems. I experienced a lot of the toxic masculinity side of things, but only from myself more than anyone else, whereas my friends would be really encouraging. For myself, I would feel quite weak, and I would feel that, what right do you have to complain about these things? There's nothing wrong with your life. There isn't some huge life-changing event. There's no death in the family, no divorce, none of that. But then it's getting past that self-prejudice and knowing that it's okay to open up and talk about things when they're not going right. What led you to talk to someone about it? It was affecting every aspect of my life. It affected the work that I went in for, but also affected when I came home from work and when I tried to hang out with my friends, and people could tell something was wrong. There isn't really an alternative. I just have to talk and say what's going on because I wouldn't know how to cope otherwise. Who did you speak to first, and what was that like? First person I opened up to was my girlfriend, who has been amazingly supportive the whole way through, and obviously cried in that conversation, cried in every conversation that I had with everyone following that. Never got any easier, but I was really lucky that everyone I talked to was super supportive. Parents were the hardest, definitely. I told them towards the end because I almost had to build myself up to that and prepare, because I knew that they were just going to worry because, as parents, they're always going to worry. How did you feel afterwards? Good. Every single one helped a bit. Every single one was a bit better. I think, again, I was lucky that everyone was so amazing when I told them, but every single conversation I had came with such a wave of relief and comfort, and just being comfortable in your own skin almost after telling them. How has it affected your relationship with that person or those people? Every relationship stronger, every single one. Once you tell someone that and they do stick around, then you know that you can tell them anything then. Also, a massive thing for me was once I started talking, other people started talking back to me, and some of my closest friends that I'd known for 10, 15 years would come to me and tell me about their lowest moments and stuff they've gone through that I never knew and never realised. Why do you think it's important to talk about mental health? I think it's important to talk about it because everyone is going through it or knows someone that's going through it. I think a great piece of advice that can go to everyone is telling people how you feel, even if you know it doesn't make sense. It is always the first step to getting better, is talking about it, because if you don't tell someone, then you're just in your own head, and that's, I know more than anyone else, that can be the worst place that you can be sometimes. What helps you when your mental health isn't so good? But definitely talking to anyone that will listen about it. Going to the gym is my little sanctuary, and video games. Love video games, can play them all day, and a good book or a good film. What 3 pieces of advice would you give to someone experiencing problems with their mental health? Again, talk to someone, please, just talk to anyone. Just anyone that will listen, whether it is a stranger, a teacher, a friend, a family member. Realise that it is in your head, a lot of the things that you're going to be worrying about. Just taking a moment, just breathing when things get really tough. Just taking that extra second to kind of think about what really matters